Islamism. Praise Allah, honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, honors to the Moorish Divine National Movement, Moorish Science Temple of America, honors to all stations of the Moorish Science Temple of America, honors to Marcus Messiah Garvey Bay, honors to the Universal Negro Improvement Association of the UNIA and the past leaders. Past leaders of the UNIA, honors to them who stuck it out to the end. Honors to everything that is Moorish. Honors to all those who are in tune and listening and subscribing, and all those who like the video. Honors to all harbingers who pay for the way for the leaders of the Moorish Science of America. Without our ancestors, we Moorish Americans would not be here to straighten out the condition. Today's show is called Picky People. The reason for this show, family, is that I see a lot of people want to break rules. A lot of people want to covet that's theirs. And a lot of people want to kill, steal, and destroy. A lot of people who are colonists and descendants thereof play the guilt trip like they're the ones in power and they're the ones who are superior. And looking at everyone else, as I said in my last show, peasants. We have to be very mindful of all the current events that's going on. And even if we know a few, it'll be enough to get us by. But at the end of the day, it's all about growing and learning. Growing and learning about the behavior of people. Some people choose to follow rules, and the others choose to follow rules that feel like sustains to them. Rules, laws, statute of limitations, whatever you want to call it. When you see something going wrong as a child, whether you're taught right from wrong or not, as you get older, you cannot tend to repeat the behavior of your mother and father. Because look at the situation. Look at the aftermath of how they started and how it all ended. We have to be very mindful of the behavior that comes along with these teachings. We have to be mindful of the surroundings that creates the cause and effect. And once we begin to understand these specific things that causes a specific cause and effect, we begin to understand where we stand amongst the common people and society. If you are dark-skinned, Asiatic, melanated, light-skinned, Asiatic, melanated, you tend to overlook the consequences that is being put upon you, and the hatred that's being put upon you, and the self-hatred that's being put upon your ancestors that has traveled through generation, until someone makes a decision and drops the ball in the family and say, okay, this is going to stop right now. It's going to stop with me. Because if you continue to preach the hate and pass it down from generation to generation, that means that not only you're the suspect, but you're also the victim. It's not also, it's sometimes called contact by association, but sometimes we don't have no choice but what society brings to us and what our environment and the people in it that makes things harder than what it should be. If we understood how the crack, cocaine, and the drugs came into the community, and why the Ku Klux Klan, who are Masons, and those women are Eastern Stars, tend to bring turmoil and hardship upon the Asiatic people and hate everybody else, and talk about this so-called white power, then we tend to lose sight of who we truly are. As so-called Negro, Blacks, and Coloreds, that's not who we are. As so-called Latino, Chicano, Hispanics, that is not who we are. Some Atlantic or some Pacific Islander, whatever what you want to call it. You fail to understand that you have been denationalized, but yet and still you take upon a name that eludes slavery by the slaveholder. So you protect the slaveholder without giving second thought that the Chinese man got his nationality, got his national flag. The people from Bangladesh got their nationality, from Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, continents of Africa, continents of Asia, continents of Europe. Almost everybody else got their nationality other than the Negro, Blacks, and Coloreds, Puerto Ricans, and so-called Filipinos and Costa Ricans. I've already explained certain things in my last show relating to these issues. But yet and still, we still hold on to this folly. We hold on to this falsehood, and we protect it like it belongs to us. We can't continue to protect being black in America if we're treated less than a human being. So that means if we're being treated less than a human being and our nationality is taken from us, isn't it a violation of human rights? Isn't it a violation of the Constitution that's supposed to apply to that all men are created equally? These are the things that have to be really thought about and thought through. Without a fall, a soldier never knows a spring. So Prophet Drew Ali said. Allah is leading on and victory is sure, but you can't say you follow Allah, but you follow the devil at the same time. You can't say you follow Yahweh, you a Hebrew Israelite, and you follow Diablo at the same time, or the devil, or Shaitan. You can't say that you're Muslim, but you follow the devil at the same time. You are so far-fetched from reality that you pick and choose what you like. You pick and choose, as a Muslim husband, of how to mistreat your wife. You pick and choose, as a Christian man, whoever you may be, how to mistreat your wife. Hebrew Israelite, same thing. You ain't no different. And all the so-called Asiatic men in Asia and Africa who mistreat their wife, who cheat on their wife, you think Allah is going to bless you? Because of your lack of inconsistencies, lack of your insecurities? Do you understand the harm that you put upon a woman is the harm that you put upon a child that breeds hate, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms? That child is going to resent you as a mother resents you. This is all facts that your brother man Morris Life is speaking. You fail to understand, where do you stand in life? Do you stand on the side of righteousness, or do you stand on the side of unrighteousness? Are you practicing love, mercy, justice, and right? Or are you practicing hatred, slander, lewdness, burn, stuff, and everything that harms? These are the things that you have to constantly really think about. These are the things that you have to subscribe yourself. You have to circumspect yourself. You have to circumspect your ideas. Your ideas is your God. You may worship Allah for the moment, but then again, the rest of the week is business as usual. You're back to dehumanizing people, slander, defamation of character, slander and defamation of character yourself, and you wonder why your life is not as fruitful. See, when people start understanding certain conditions in life, and they understand where they played a part, then this is where the growth comes in. But until someone does not understand the part they play in and what they're doing wrong, then the growth stops. And this is where all the blessings of Shaitan start coming in. Whether you want to like what your brother man Morris Life had to say or not, I don't care who feelings it hurts. I apply these lessons to myself. If I bomb somebody, I'm going to say excuse me. If I say something out of line and they bring it to my attention, I'm going to be corrected. I'm going to say, my apologies, I stand corrected. I'm going to man up. I'm not going to boy down. I'm going to man up. So when we start thinking about the conditions that happened during the time of slavery and how it passed down from us to the modern day generation, we have to understand where the condition came from and hold those ones accountable. Because we're not the ones who calling ourselves Negro, Black, and Colored. Why would we want to just denationalize ourselves? Because if we denationalize ourselves, we're going to still carry the same hate that the European slaveholder put upon our ancestors during those times. But if we decide to ransack that demonstration and don't want to be part of that demonstration no more, no, I'm not Negro, Black, and Colored. I'm not Afro-American. I have an Afro. It doesn't make me American. It's just a hairstyle. Can't be African-American because I can't be born in two continents. Black, according to science, means death. Black means pale. Pale means you're on the way of losing life. You're about to give out your last breath. No, there's no blood flowing. There's no oxygen going to the brain. The heart's about to give out. It's about to say flatline. And that's what we have right now. The Walking Dead. People who just straight flatline. They just living. They not understanding what's going on. They're not understanding the consequences of calling yourself black. You can't call yourself black and expect to reap the rewards of reparations, because the root word of reparations is to repair a nation. So how are you going to repair a nation for the so-called Negro, Blacks, and Colors when there's no Negro, Black, and Color or law or constitution or military that belongs to these group of people, or so-called Puerto Ricans or so-called Costa Ricans? Come on now, I can't make this up. Your brother man Morris Life is already part of the science. I already proved myself to be a sheik. I never self-proclaimed sheik Adam. I was proclaimed that. I'm anointed and appointed. But I am self-proclaimed firstborn only begotten son. I can say that. There are certain things I know I'm self-proclaimed because I know what I can do. You see what I'm saying? So there are certain things in life that one must understand to be able to grow mentally and be able to be mature in thought. Your age does not determine your maturity. Your action does not determine your maturity. It's what you carry out through consistency in life and recognizing where you have wrong and where you can do better at. That's what the whole purpose of the Moorish Science of America is, to uplift the fallen humanity. I've been to the mosque, the masjid, to Shahada. I've done all of that. But it's not teaching me nothing about myself. It's giving me certain lessons. Yeah, okay, I can, yes. Assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam. Sabah yes, sabah no. Yeah, okay. One for my brothers and one for yourself. But yeah, we still fight amongst each other. We got the so-called Negro, Blacks, and Colors fight amongst each other, and we all just watching these Ku Klux Klan just sitting back and just watching us just kill each other off. Slander, defamation of character. Yep. That's the way it goes. You better do your fact check on somebody, because if you don't do your fact check on somebody, somebody's bound to do you some harm. You could be the leader of the people, But then again, you always gotta do this somewhere. When you understand how people think, when you understand behaviors, when you understand jealousy, when you understand envy, when you understand anything that's low vibration, especially when it comes down to the man, to the woman, to the child, whatever the case may be, aunties, uncles, cousins, grandmoms, grandpops, whether they be mammies, whether they be pappies, whatever, it's the truth. I cannot sit here and just come on this live and just make stuff up. If you have no tires on your car, how do you expect to drive? But yet still, you're still you're still delusional saying, oh yeah, I can still drive my car with no tires, no rim. I can still get around. Well, what are you going to do? Do the Back to the Future? You're going to turn into a hover conversion? That's not logical. And see, that's what we deal with on a consistent basis in everyday life. We know people know the truth. It's right there in front of you. But yet and still, we don't acknowledge the truth. So then all of a sudden now we're dark in the mind. So when we're black in the mind, that means we're not lacking of truth. And the truth is not in us. So that means we worship the devil. So the Bible teaches us. Right? When are we going to start understanding that we not only hold ourselves accountable, but we need to hold other people accountable for what our condition is? Now, after we understand the hypothesis, after we understand what the theory is, and how it happened, who, what, when, where, why, and how. Once we understand these things, now we know how to change. Now we know how to change the spirit in the whole room. Whether it be women all pause, men all pause, whatever it be, whatever ancient, what's an old school song or modern song, men all pause. Yeah, so we have to really understand when we have a certain way about ourselves that people tend to love on you because of the energy that you keep, the energy that you have. The people who hate you the most, the people you want to make peace with, is the people who hate you the most. And then once that comes around, then people are going to understand where they're wrong at. And there's a nice, strong high percentage of people who are not going to admit they're wrong. They're not going to self-reflect. All they're going to do is self-destruct. I'm not going to sit here and make anything up, family. I'm going to demonstrate the truth for what it truly is, and nothing else. But I do know, by me being who I am, and me understanding conditions, I tend to forgive people and move on. What do I look like stressing out? For what? Over whom? Why? Because it doesn't make sense, family. Let them do as they must. My father gave me the best advice. Salam alayhi salam. Peace and blessings be upon my pops. My pops always told me, someone can look at you the wrong way, and as long as they don't put their hands on you, you don't have you have a right. You don't have a right to touch them. But as soon as they put their hands on you, this is the words of my father, that I don't like cussing. He says, you gonna open the can of whoop ass. That's what my pops said. Rest in peace to my beloved father. Gave some very strong wisdom to assist me in life. And whatever teaching that my father taught my mother. Praise Allah. All praises be to Allah for that demonstration. I want the brothers and sisters to understand, don't look for friendship. Don't push the issue in being a friend. Because if you do that, you're going to set yourself up for heartache and pain and failure. You thought this person was your friend, but they coveted what is yours. See, this is what I do. And I'm going to be real with y'all. Before I even proclaim someone as my best friend, I have to really see what they're about. I don't know them from a campaign. They may have something against me. They may have an ulterior motive. Who knows? I don't know. I ain't know nothing. But give me about 15 seconds, 15 minutes of the conversation. Let me see where this person's mind is at. And then after I see where their mind is at, then I'm going to see how they give them a few tests, see how they react to certain things. Right? So then, after a while, time goes on, months, years, and stuff go on. After a while, then you tend to understand where that person's coming from. Then you guys have to have the same way of thinking, the same way of logic. You have the same thing of you want for the people as you want for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that, family. Never, really. So when we understand conditions, we understand territory, we understand people, we understand the state of mind, we understand their mother and father, we understand there's some PTSD, we understand there's some mishap going on with the families and stuff, you name it. I don't need to lie and make this up, but we have to understand we can't change other people. The only ones we can change is ourselves. Islam. Right? I see that there's a group of people in the chat giving me the greetings. My apologies, family, because once I start, Matthew Martinez, I don't know what you talking about, bro. I don't smoke crack, bro, and that's you don't know me like that, bro, for real. And we have Z and Milo and Kimberly. Islam Heaven Haji, y'all. Sigma. Okay, I guess. Peace and love. And I think that's everybody that's in the chat. Matthew, if you gonna be in my chat, bro, don't be asking me no crazy questions like that, bro. You're in violation. You out of pocket. So check your words. If you can't handle what I'm speaking, then bounce, homie, for real. Really made to bounce. That's real. Now, see, it's people like that who come into the chat. They want to be a king hero. They want to just speak folly and falsehood. And unfortunately, I ain't with that. But moving right along to the topic, through this channel, I'm going to speak about various issues. Why children act out. Whatever goes on inside the home is a reflection of how the child acts. Whether we are young children, youth, adolescent to an adult or whatever, we tend to protect ourselves and we act out. Some people use it as a crutch, sometimes people use it to harm others. We don't know what's going on in people's household. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know everything. Yeah, you think you know everything, but you don't know. So where do you understand that life throws at you complications? It throws at you trials and tribulations for you to overcome, to be stronger, to be better, to understand your thinking, to understand where do you stand with these so-called friends of yours. And the question is, are they truly your friends? And do they truly love you? You can sit here and say you love a person all you want, whether it be brother to brother, sister to sister, cousin to cousin, family members, etc., etc. Just because you say it don't mean you mean it. That's just a cop-out, a scapegoat to humiliate and manipulate to get what you want. Now, when you got people like that, you have to be conscious of paying attention, word for word, what someone's saying, instead of looking at conditions and situations as what you gathered and putting words in other people's mouth to create an altercation. When are you going to understand that there's certain things in life that's not going to always go your way? When? So when these things happen, we tend to lose sight of the goal of what our purpose and what we're here for. Either we're here to destroy humanity or uplift the fallen humanity. There's only two ways. There's no middleman. There's no extra spooky entity up in the sky who is going to separate himself and call himself the spirit and call it and then separate and say, oh, I'm the Father. Father and Spirit are separate. No. Nay. The Spirit is the Father. There is no separation. Now we practice in church. Now we don't hold accountability to the truth. Blame and guilt. Shirk in English. Shirk in Arabic. Associating partners with Allah. Same thing. Right? I got a question for the people in the chat. Is anybody in there? But if nobody's in the chat responding, I will keep going with this demonstration. Now, why is this person riding two lanes? But at the end of the day, family, we all have to think about what can we do to better our condition? What can we do to be honest and be truthful and not deceive ourselves? Those are the questions we must ask ourselves. Right? What can we do today to better the condition and have remorse for what we did was wrong to harm somebody else? That's what it's all about. Studying self, family. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. If somebody in the chat, somebody give me a green, I got a question for you. Nobody in the chat feels to speak? Alright. Islam. Well, this is going to be the end of the show today, family. Islam, praise Allah, and to the Prophet W. Ali. I pray that whoever is going through trials and tribulations, pray that y'all conquer in the name of peace. Closes out the more American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. His holy prophet, Islam. Praise Allah, family. Islam, peace and love.